I got sick of being mediocre, sick of being seen but not respected, heard but not followed, sick of posting fake wins, flexing empty progress, and pretending I was doing the work. So I disappeared. I didn't just fade into the background, I cut ties, I cut noise. I cut out every single connection that wasn't aligned with the vision I wanted for myself. No more texts, no more updates, no more likes, no explanations, no drawn-out goodbyes, and no half-hearted attempts to keep people in my orbit. I went silent because I was going savage. There's a moment in everyone's life when they realize that enough is enough. Mine came on a hot, stale afternoon. The sun was glaring through the blinds, illuminating the reality I'd been trying to dodge for years. I was coasting, smiling in group pictures, collecting half congratulations on social media, even celebrating minor tasks like they were major victories. But behind that digital applause, there was nothing. No real growth, no significant milestones, no substance. All style, no grit. So, I made a choice. If I was going to keep living, I might as well live fully. If I was going to keep breathing, I'd breathe fire. I'd fight for every inch of respect. First from myself, then from everyone else. That's when the silence started. I shut down every app that used to swallow my days. I stopped checking what random strangers were doing with their weekends, their new travel shots, or whatever drama they were fueling online. I realized I was living vicariously through other people's highlight reels and letting my own life gather dust. I was watching them, but I should have been building me. This wasn't some trendy social media detox. This was war. War against the soft version of me that craved attention, that needed validation from the outside world. War against distraction, the swirling chaos that kept my eyes off my own path and on everyone else's. I went dark. Completely. At first it felt surreal. It's crazy how conditioned we are to check for messages, notifications, likes, those little bursts of synthetic dopamine that make us feel important for a split second. I turned them off. And when I did, the quiet became deafening. That's the part nobody tells you about. When you kill the noise, you start hearing your own doubts in high definition. But that's when things got real. Because in that quiet, I couldn't escape my own reflection. I couldn't pretend anymore. I saw myself for exactly what I was. A person with potential who wasn't putting in the work. A person who liked the idea of greatness but was too busy scrolling, too busy updating, too busy chasing quick wins. So I buried that old version of me, literally, like a funeral in my mind. I said goodbye to that person who needed outside applause. I said goodbye to the one who was always almost doing something big. That older me didn't deserve a graceful exit. It deserved to be crushed. Because you can't negotiate with your own weakness. You have to obliterate it. Cutting everyone off was the easy part. Embracing the solitude was where the real test began. Late nights bled into early mornings. I'd catch the clock striking 2, 3, 4 in the morning while I was knee-deep in books, notes, plans, workouts, whatever I needed to do to sharpen my edge. I'd get 2 hours of sleep if that was all I could afford, then slam my alarm at 5 a.m. to remind myself I was at war. War doesn't pause just because you're tired. War doesn't care about your comfort. When I say I went savage, I mean it. There's a different energy that boils in your veins when you realize no one's coming to save you. No one cares if you succeed or fail, beyond a fake congrats or that sucks. This is your fight. So every morning I wrote down my objectives. Every night I evaluated whether I met them. If I didn't, I sacrificed sleep until they were done. If they required more learning, I studied. If they required more strength, I trained. They were out there, my so-called friends, acquaintances, people on the periphery, still partying on weekends, posting their nights at the club, bragging about the same pointless achievements. Meanwhile, I was locked in a room that started to smell of sweat and old coffee. My eyes had permanent shadows under them. But there was a different kind of spark in them too, like a predator that had finally sniffed out its prey. At first, there was pushback. People texted me, concerned. "Where you at? You good? Hey, let's hang out." I responded with silence, because if I answered, it would drain my energy. I needed all that energy for the war. They tried calling me. I let it ring. They tried tagging me in photos, hoping for a comment, a like, or some sign of life. Nothing. Eventually, they stopped. And that was perfect. Solitude became my sharpening stone. I discovered there is a raw power in isolation. When you cut out the world, you learn to focus on your own breath, your own heartbeat, your own raw, unfiltered will. There were no outside opinions telling me what I should or shouldn't do. I developed this laser-like vision for what mattered to progress, day by day, hour by hour. While they watched shows, I studied. My desk was piled high with books on everything from mindset and mastery to technical skills I'd neglected for too long. I took notes, tested myself, applied theories, and practiced in real time. I wasn't reading for entertainment. I was reading to fortify my mind. While they partied, I trained. Every night I went for those extra reps in the gym when my muscles were screaming to stop. Every morning I pushed my cardio to the edge until my lungs burned. Every bead of sweat felt like a step away from that fragile person I used to be. While they posted, I built, quietly, in the darkness. I didn't need to prove anything to anyone yet. I was too busy laying the foundation of something that would speak for itself. My silence became my weapon. Because in that silence, you become unpredictable. You become mysterious. While they broadcasted every move, I was in the shadows, planning something bigger. People say they want to disappear to find themselves, to go on some spiritual journey. That's not what this was for me. I wasn't looking for me, I was creating me. There's a difference. One is discovery, the other is design. I chose design, deliberate steps, deliberate actions, deliberate sacrifices. In those sleepless nights and early mornings, I had moments of doubt. I questioned whether I was being too extreme, whether I'd lose my connections forever. But I remembered. I was sick of being mediocre. Comfort leads straight back to mediocrity. I didn't come this far to whimper back into the same routine, so I pushed harder. The more isolated I became, the sharper my hunger grew. You might think cutting everyone off would dull your ambition, but it does the opposite if you're truly committed. It turns your ambition into a predator that hasn't eaten in days. It prowls through your mind, craving the next challenge, the next achievement. I lived in that primal state for months. No one heard from me. If they asked about me, they got shrugs and guesses. Some thought I was in rehab. Some thought I'd moved out of the country. Some didn't care enough to ask at all, which showed me how shallow those relationships were in the first place. Good. Let them assume I was broken or lost. That gave me more fuel. Eventually, the physical changes became obvious. My body hardened. My eyes grew fierce. My posture shifted. I carried myself like a man on a mission. My mind, once cluttered with memes and half-baked goals, became surgical. I could focus on a single task for hours without breaking. My notes turned into strategies. My strategies turned into results. And my results turned into unstoppable momentum. During all this, something clicked in me. I no longer needed to be seen. I only needed to evolve. That's the moment I realized I had won the first battle in the war, becoming addicted to progress, not applause. The real war, though, It never ends. I'm not done. I'm still not done. There's always another level, another weakness to kill, another version of me to bury. Sometimes people say, oh, if you push that hard, you'll burn out. Let me tell you something. Mediocrity is a worse fire. It scorches your spirit slowly, day by day, until you've got nothing left but regret. I'd rather burn bright for a shot at something extraordinary than fizzle out in the comfort zone with everyone else. The day I finally stepped out of the darkness, I realized something else. The world hadn't stopped turning just because I disappeared. No big shock there. Life keeps going. The difference was, I wasn't the same. I felt like a forged weapon, hammered by discipline, sharpened by sacrifice. And when I came back, I didn't announce it. I didn't post about it. I didn't ask for applause. I let my presence speak. I let the results scream. I didn't come back to be noticed. I came back to take over. This isn't motivation. This is a fucking warning. If you're still watching, still waiting for the right time to evolve, you'll never get it. The ones who make it, they disappear. They go dark. They go savage. And when they come back, they don't talk, they dominate.